Hey, this is Connor Furster with Universal Slate. Last week we did a stain test with bathroom stains. This week we're going to do a stain test with some kitchen stains. So this week we're going to be testing again 4 samples. We've got a limestone, a travertine, and 2 marbles here. And to start off we're going to have staining with some tomato ketchup, some black coffee, some balsamic vinegar. Now this isn't your regular balsamic vinegar. Most balsamic vinegar is actually balsamic condiment. This is actually 10-year-old aged balsamic. Very thick, very flavorful. In fact, similar to the amount of flavor you'd get in a beautiful full-bodied red wine. Very choice. I highly recommend you pick some of this up if you have the means. And then finally, we're going to be doing some canola oil, but it's going to be canola oil infused with turmeric, a super staining agent for anyone who knows. Basically, we're going to heat this oil up in a junkie-esque style scene with some infused with some turmeric, and we're going to basically just kind of spray it on, splatter on, and see how it stains after about 15 minutes or so. All right, so in just a sec here, I'm going to start getting the samples ready, and here we have the tomato ketchup. Oops. Made a mess of it there. Some coffee. Just a nice little puddle there. The delicious aged balsamic. This also serves as the benefit of an acidic item for us here, since limestone is typically prone to acidity as well. And here we have the canola oil. We've got to prep this up here, so bear with. And here's the cooked up curry here. We're going to go ahead and put this cooked up curry oil on our tile. There we go. Now, let's prep the rest of the samples. Alright, now that we've got our samples prepped up, we're just going to let it sit for 15 minutes, and we'll come back in just a bit here to check it out. Alright, about 15 minutes has elapsed, so we're going to take these over to the sink, rinse them off, and see what's underneath. Come on! Okay. Rinse. Okay, so off the bat, you can see a couple of darker spots there. We'll just let that sit and dry up a bit and see how that turns out. That's the limestone. Onto the travertine. And just with water even, no real soap. Travertine seems to be in really good shape. I was expecting maybe a little more damage on that, but there's really not to be had. There might be, it seems like a slightly rougher spot where the ketchup used to be, but there's no real visual evidence of anything there. On to the marble. First glance, the marble's looking really good. Let's see. There's maybe some very, very slight etching there from the ketchup, coffee, and vinegar. Take a look closer in just a moment. And now the other marble. Again, same as the Bianco Luna, no real visible marking of any kind or staining. rubbing my finger over it. I think there's a bit of minor etching with the vinegar, but no real stain to speak of. We'll dry these down and take a look at it in the light and see what the effect the actual etching has and how it changes the luster, if at all. Alright, and here's a closer look at the stain test here. Let's see, this is where the ketchup was. Coffee stain here, just a very, very slight darkening. I still think it's going to dry out a bit. This is a definite etch here where the vinegar was, and nothing with hot yellow oil. Awesome, alright. Travertine now. No real visible marking of any kind here. Give you a close-ups here so you can confirm that. This is where the ketchup was. Coffee. The vinegar is somewhere around here. The etching is not nearly as bad as I expected on that one. And the oil. Moving on to Bianco Luna. It's a white marble. You'd expect to see everything on it if it stains at all. So, see, there is no real. There's a slight edge here from the. You can see in the luster there how it doesn't reflect in this one spot. Watch the light moving over it. Doesn't really reflect as much in that one spot. That's from the ketchup. Coffee, no real stain. And let's see, oh, there is the vinegar, so that's probably did the most damage there. You can see how the light changes from being a perfect reflection down to being slightly mottled as it comes to the mild etching that's happened there. And then again the hot yellow oil, nothing. Alright, and the final marble, our creme marfil. No real, let's see, oh, I'm looking at the wrong spot. Turn it around. Okay, so here we have an etch mark from the ketchup. You can see that little spot there as the light passes over it. Again, no real stain to speak of with coffee. And where's the vinegar? There we go. There's the vinegar etch mark. Again, very, very slight. When you're looking at it from above, you don't really notice it. And then again, the hot oil on the bottom, no real effect. So, as again, looking from afar, you don't really notice anything. It seems that the biggest problem we have so far with the marbles in particular, mainly because of the polished finish, with a honed marble, you wouldn't really have that problem because of the luster that it's resulted with after an etch is very similar to, looks exactly like a honed spot. But yeah, so looks like the lesson of the day is, with any sort of acids, make a point of cleaning those up, and you don't have to jump on it within a second, but you can, ideally you'd want to clean that up after a minute or so. I noticed that when I was putting the vinegar on, it didn't really have any reaction at first. It took a couple minutes before you started seeing little air bubbles in it, and that's just evidence of the reaction coming about. Alright, so that's the scoop with limestone, travertine, and marble with staining. Again, no real stains, but as we just found out, acids do a little bit of damage there, so you do want to wipe those up sooner rather than later. Alright, we'll talk to you again soon. Cheers.